From January 17th until March 4th, 2025, we stayed in the Philippines in Clark, Freeport zone in Angeles, Central Luzon. Angeles is in the municipality, I can't say that word, I'm sorry, of Pampanga. It used to be a US Air Force military base. It's all gated and totally Americanized. We lived in the villages, the Korean part, and that was again gated. So we lived double gated, so super secure. And very close by there was a Kmart, a Korean mart where we lived. As soon as you get out of the Clark Freeport zone, what is actually really big, by the way, 123.8 square miles, 320.6 square kilometers. So as soon as you get out of that, you're in the real Philippines.
The road here is always busy. Very.
Everywhere in Clark you see guards, and they are super friendly and they love Tinkerbell, the dog we were taking care of. They also really liked us because, not like others, we actually picked up the poop from Tinkerbell. I remember one time a guard was calling me like, ma'am, and did this because I was actually picking up Tinkerbell's poop right then. If you treat them well, they treat you well. That's what Randall, our host, told us. He always treats them very well and gives them treats and stuff, and they always salute him. In the Clark Freeport zone, they don't drive like they do in the Philippines. They actually do follow the rules and laws. But it's still better not to drive yourself there, even though it's much more safer than in the real Philippines. But so Paul drove Randall's car sometimes, but only when Randall was with him, and only in Clark. Except for to go to the mall, because the mall was right outside Clark, but really right there. So that's the only time when Paul drove. But when we went somewhere alone inside Clark, for example to the gym, that was only 9 minutes away, we still always took a Grab. Grab is like Uber. Taxi rides are cheap, and those blue taxis are actually cheaper than a Grab. But you can't call a taxi inside Clark, or at least we couldn't. So every time we went to the mall, we had to call a Grab to go there. But then in front of the mall, there was like a taxi stand, so there were lots of taxis, so we could take one of the cheaper blue taxis to go back. Yeah, Clark has gyms, but unfortunately not right where we were staying. So as mentioned, we had to get a Grab car that drove us about 9 minutes to the gym. And gyms are expensive there. Locals don't use gyms. So gyms are for expats, tourists, so they're quite expensive, or just like normal price. So we paid 3,000 pesos per person per month, what is about $51.35. For the Philippines, that's really expensive. So as mentioned, just tourists, expats, and rich people use gyms. It's a good gym. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, but it has all the equipment we need. And there was even a free water dispenser there. There was also a cafe there, but of course, for the food and drinks there, you had to pay. I never went, of course, but I think Paul got some coffee there sometimes. In the locker room, it was a little bit of a challenge to find a locker that you could actually lock. I can't believe it. I actually found here a locker that works, because most of them just are either taken or you can't lock them. Yeah, there are these shower stalls, and I guess people in the Philippines are more prudish for taking a shower and getting dressed and stuff. There was also a sauna in the women's locker room, but unfortunately it wasn't working. Oh, and they even had classes. They were included in the price. On the schedule, it said on Fridays, new at 6 p.m. martial arts classes. Yeah, I could still go 4 times before we would leave the Philippines. That's what I thought. I've done karate, some kickboxing, and MMA back in Reno when I wasn't crazy sick yet from having 2 pituitary tumors in my head. I miss martial arts, and so I was super excited to go to that class, but also I was so fucking nervous. I am so out of shape. I haven't done that for so long, and I'm not conditioned anymore. Everything will hurt so much, and I know I would almost die, but still, I so wanted to do it. I was so fucking nervous. So on Friday, before we left to go to the gym for that martial arts class for me, I even pooped, and I didn't poop for 6 days, and I tried everything I could to make me poop, and I just couldn't. But the nervousness did it, and I could finally poop. Anyways, we got a Grab and went to the gym, and there was no class. Apparently, not enough people signed up for it. So all that nervousness, I was nervous for days. I remember all that for nothing. No, not for nothing. I got a good poop out of me. Filipinos love to sing. Well, we were staying in the Korean part, and yes, there were a lot of Koreans there, so I don't know if it was Filipinos or Koreans or both, but like at night you could hear music, and I think also some karaoke and some partying on the weekends for sure, but also during the weekdays at night after midnight you still heard some people outside like talking, and but it wasn't that bad. We both felt really safe staying in Clark Freeport zone in the Philippines, and we really enjoyed it. But in a way, I'm a little bit sad I didn't get to stay also in the real Philippines. But who knows, maybe we will go back to that country. Stay happy, stay healthy.